The first and final expansion for From Software's Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, is finally here. It's been a joyous yet super punishing journey. You don't have to venture into the new region completely blind. Here are some various tips and tricks to help you get started, whether it's accessing the DLC or finding some of its best items. How to access the DLC.
Eaten from the inside by Melania's scarlet rot, his wits are long gone.
It's been mentioned before, but it bears repeating. If you haven't killed Starscorch Radahn or Mohg, Lord of the Blood, go! Do it now! Slaying them is required to access Shadow of the Erdtree. While Radahn can be tackled after clearing the bosses of Stormvale Castle and Rhea Lucaria Academy, it's possible to fight him immediately after receiving Torrent, though you'll be underleveled. As for Mohg, you can use the Haligtree Secret Medallion, with the right half located in the village of the Albinurics in Liurnia. Look for a pot near the site of grace and hit it to reveal Albus, who is hidden to receive the right half. The left half requires going north of the mountaintops of the Giants to reach Castle Sol. You must defeat Commander Nile in the northeast tower to get it. With both pieces, go to the Grand Lift of Rold, located east of the capital in the Forbidden Lands. You must then go to the western part of the Consecrated Snowfield, northwest of the Yellow Annex ruins, which is where you'll find a teleporter. The Sanguine Noble invades beforehand, so after dispatching them, use the teleporter to reach the Mogwin Palace. The alternative is White Maskbari's questline, which becomes available after earning your first Great Rune, invading 3 players, or going to the Wraithblood Ruins and kill Magnus the Beastclaw. Get the Lord of Blood's favor and soak it in a Maiden's Blood. Several options are available, so look up your ideal one. Take the Blood-soaked favor to Vare to receive the Pure Blood Knight's Medal. Use it, and you'll teleport directly to Mogwin Palace. Recommended level. You can attempt the DLC early into a new game playthrough, but it's recommended to be level 120 or so when challenging Mohg, not to mention upgrading your weapons and spirit summons. However, you might find the Realm of Shadows to be overwhelming even at that point. Those who previewed the expansion several weeks prior had trouble even on level 150 builds, so take that as a baseline, at least. It's recommended to hit level 160 before entering the region. If you want to be really prepared, level 180 or bust. Vertical exploration. Plenty of reviews have discussed the more vertical design of the Realm of Shadow, and they're not joking. If you're ever stuck or don't know where to go next, try looking for cliffside trails or Spiritsprings. More on that later. To get to a higher vantage point, some optional yet highly rewarding areas can be missed if you're not careful, so explore thoroughly. How to defeat Furnace Golems. The one thing you'll probably notice first when roaming the Realm of Shadow is the Furnace Golem. These hulking monstrosities boast powerful fiery attacks, and worst of all, they're invulnerable to damage on most of their body. If you want some of the new crystal tiers, taking them down is necessary, but it is possible. You can stance break those without armor on their legs by continuously wailing on their limbs and then attacking their faceplate with a critical attack. Alternatively, shoot their faceplate with projectiles. Great arrows work nicely, but if you're at a high enough position, try chucking a hefty fire pot into their basket for massive damage. Upon defeating a Furnace Golem, you can use their Furnace Visages to craft a hefty Furnace Pot, which does even more damage to Furnace Golems when targeting their basket. How to get all map fragments. Out of all the things essential to exploring the Realm of Shadow, map fragments are probably near the top of the list. When first entering the land, go northeast to find the first map fragment in the Gravesite Plain. The Southern Shore map fragment is out of the way but available early on. Go to Ilak Bridge and follow the Ilak River south to the Cerulean Coast Cross site of Grace to find it. After venturing through Castle Ensis and reaching Scadutree, travel northeast from the High Road cross site of Grace to reach the region map's fragment. The Rawa Ruins map fragment is also in Scadutree. Go northeast from the Morith Ruins site of Grace to reach a cave and venture through the tunnel until the Ancient Ruins base appears. It should pop up near the Templetown Ruins. Finally, the Abyssal Woods map fragment is in the Shadow Keep. You must use the stone coffin in the dungeon to venture to the castle watering hole. Head south into the Darklight Catacombs, and in the southeast corner should be an abandoned church with the map fragment. how to easily get Scadutree Fragments. With how much everything hurts in the expansion, depending on your level, it's a good idea to seek out the various Scadutree Fragments. They'll reduce the damage taken and increase your damage output with each level, though you must gather more for higher levels. Scadutree Fragments are located near Michaelis crosses scattered throughout the land. 2 are close to Castle Ensis. However, you also get 1 every time you defeat a Shadow Undead. These enemies carry a pot on their heads, so keep an eye out for them. New wondrous physics, and why you should use them. As discussed earlier, taking down the Furnace Golems is necessary for earning the new crystal tiers, which can be mixed to create new wondrous physics. Some of these include the Crimson Burst Dried tier, which refills your HP every time you slay an enemy. Meanwhile, the Viridian Hidden tier aids in recovering your stamina. Those relying on spirit summons should keep an eye out for the Glowwort crystal tier, since this improves them. Even if you're well off with the current physics, try experimenting with new options. They may be more potent than you think. Sealed Spiritsprings. Spiritsprings are a means to traverse the lands between, allowing you to soar to great heights while still on torrent. They're also present in the Realm of Shadow, but you might notice them looking less grand than usual due to a seal. Opening them up is easy though. Look for a stone cairns nearby and destroy them with melee attacks to open the Spirit Spring. Where to find what materials? Whether you're looking for materials to bolster your weapons and spirit ashes, or hefty pots to craft the new hefty fire pots to damage the Furnace Golems, the Realm of Shadows provides. However, understanding where each material type can be is key. If you're going in blind, then remember that glowworts for upgrading your summons can be found in catacombs, bolstering materials like smithing stones, and even some weapons are located in rune forges, and jails house hefty pots. Bellerot and Shadowkeep. We'll leave the total number of legacy dungeons a mystery, but it's worth noting the first 2, Bellerot Tower Settlement and Shadowkeep, since they're mandatory for progressing the story. The former is located in Graveside Plains to the northwest, though beware of enemies like Shadows of the Dead, Scorpions, Horned Warriors, and Manflies. There's also plenty of room for ambushes, so stay alert. Shadowkeep is located in Scadualtus, but here's the kicker. It has multiple points of entry. How you tackle it is up to you, and while you can once again expect Shadows of the Dead, there are also Black Knights, who drop pieces of the new Mesmer Knight set, Fire Knights, Giant Crabs, and everyone's favorite, ulcerated tree spirits to deal with. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.